It's not something you'd want to see on a first date.
Whether it be ghosts or the truly vile meals the cast was subjected to, there's a lot more to Bones and All than what you see on the screen. Let's get into it.
Why did you offer to bring me along?
You seem nice.
I am nice.
Number 1. Hopefully you aren't squeamish. Well over 10 liters of fake blood was used in production, and it was actually pretty edible. The fake blood was made using a mixture of syrup, brownies, and maraschino cherries. And if that didn't sound sweet enough, production would even use fruit roll-ups for some of the gorier scenes. For flesh, however, they used platinum pure silicone, which prosthetics lead Jason Hammer described by saying, "It's stolen from the dental industry, so it's safe for the mouth. You wouldn't want to chew up a bunch of it and swallow it, but you can get in there and sell the action and then spit take." Taylor Russell has admitted that the silicone turned the actors off of their meals, saying, "You smell the rubber? Gross. It confuses the senses." Number 2. Do you believe in ghosts? Taylor Russell does. In an interview with Buzzfeed, Russell reflected on the scene that they filmed with Chloë Sevigny by saying, "I don't know if the building was actually haunted, but I remember it feeling very haunted." Russell went on to explain that they filmed the scene in an elementary school, and that there were all these stories on set that all these tragedies happened there. Russell then went around trying to mitigate the energy somehow, admitting that she didn't really know what she was doing. But whatever it was, she felt like it worked, because it felt really strange, and Chloe brought it so heavily in that scene, it just felt so intense. Number 3. What an awkward situation. Chloë Sevigny has worked with director Luca Guadagnino before on the HBO series We Are Who We Are, and so when he called her up asking if she'd play a small but pivotal role in his new film, she apparently replied, "I'll come for anything. One line, no lines, whatever it is." But little did Chloe know until she actually received the script that her dialogue would consist of little more than a single voiceover line and a little bit of growling. Far from being bitter about it though, Chloe would go on to say that she'd work with Luca again while at the NYFF premiere for Bones and All. Number 4. Your wardrobe says a lot about you. Costume designer Guilia Piersanti took a piece from her own closet for Lee's blue floral print shirt, coming up with the backstory that it was once a 30s dress I imagined belonged to an eaten old lady that he might have found in her closet, and he cut to fit him as a shirt. Which is apparently something Lee does a lot.
Appropriating himself with a piece of his victims and putting him on top of himself.
Marin's costumes, meanwhile, are meant to reflect Piersanti's feeling that she doesn't really have a sense of herself, as she grew up without a mother. Number 5. Hair can be a great way to express yourself. Timothée Chalamet saw Lee's dyed hair as an important part of his character, as he sees Lee as someone who's
desperate for identity and expressing himself.
Lead hair designer Massimo Gattabrusi said that they took inspiration from the time period, and from icons such as Cyndi Lauper. While the color red is meant to reflect the character's energy, it took them 2 hours to dye his hair, leaving black roots to feel the time pass through the hair. Number 6. Would you shave your head for a role? As it turned out, Chloë Sevigny didn't have to. Instead, lead hair designer Massimo Gattabrusi sewed a short wig into her hair. He explained that she was shocked when she saw it, but she also understood that her hair is a very strong instrument to change the identity or personality. Massimo went on to state that the director was excited about the result, and that Chloe was excited about it too because it helped her to better understand her character. She apparently took her time to truly feel out the new do. Number 7. We all have a story. Makeup department head Fernanda Perez put plenty of thought into the characters' backstories when it came to the scar prosthetics that she meticulously placed on the actors' bodies every day. David Gordon Green's character was given a bite on his hand that barely even made it to the screen. Although Perez explained as a backstory that he got it when he met Jake, and he had tried to bite him. Perez explained that the scar on Sully's cheek is from a fight with another eater, while the scar on his chin is from a bone shard that cut into him during a meal. Number 8. Bones and All is a first for Luca Guadagnino.
I know America quite well. I've been there for many times, but this is my first American movie.
While he usually sets his films in historic European cities, this time he was filming in the United States. The movie depicts a road trip all throughout Ronald Reagan's America, but most of the filming was contained to the area in and around Cincinnati, Ohio. Guadagnino told Deadline in an interview, "I've been totally influenced by the American culture, American cinema, and now American landscape, so I'm very happy and proud that I've finally come to this shore." Number 9. You have to follow your conscience. Little details have been included throughout the film to suggest that Marin has a strong sense of morality, like showing how she feels guilty when she has to steal to survive.
You have always a moral compass.
Lee, meanwhile, is shown to have morals but no clear path.
I think Marin's a very inspiring figure to him.
Guadagnino has said that the real pulling-in point of the film for him must have been how this character would carry a moral struggle with oneself, and that theme played a major role in his choice to take on the script. Number 10. What's the strangest thing you've been asked to do? On set, director Luca had one odd direction to give Taylor Russell.
I just remember you saying smell more on the day.
Guadagnino wanted to communicate that eaters can smell one another, but Russell admitted that she didn't always know how big she had to go to have it register on camera, meaning that she had to take some big inhales. Weird, but she's used to it. As Russell told Teen Vogue, "I just try to follow my instincts, and that usually leads me to very strange places, which is good." Number 11. Do you remember the 80s? Bones and All is set in 1980s America, and you can actually see a number of props throughout the movie based on merchandise that's no longer available.
They basically created this thing. It's all original pieces from the 80s.
Portraying characters from before the age of social media, Taylor Russell told Timothée Chalamet that she appreciated
The beauty of boredom or something.
Russell explained that she saw Marin to be more present in the moment, without the distraction of social media, and more resourceful considering she didn't have a phone to rely on. Number 12. Believe it or not, this movie almost wasn't even made. Bones and All marks the third collaboration between this writer-director duo, after Suspiria and A Bigger Splash. Although David thought of Luca immediately when he read the book, the director was busy with another project at the time, and so David began production with director Antonio Campos instead. When Antonio backed out, David sensed a little window with Luca. When David practically begged Luca to read the script, he agreed and we made the film. Number 13. Calling all rock fans. The soundtrack for Bones and All features hits from bands such as New Order and Joy Division, but that isn't the only connection the movie has to some of its biggest musical influences. According to their director in an interview with The Wrap, all the graphic design in the movie has been created by this sublime artist named Peter Saville, who created in the past the album covers for New Order and Joy Division, before concluding with, "We put a lot of thought into that." For all the difficulties production faced, you can plainly see how much love and care was put into this story that meant so much to its creators. How well do you think their ideas translated onto screen? Make sure to let us know in the comments.